And we are live, Coach Bryant. Ooh, straight off the press, coming on two wheels, coming from football practice. Welcome everybody to Hits and Heels. My name is Coach Terry Bryant. This is Coach Bryant, and I'm a football coach. I created Hits and Heels with a friend of mine, and because he made me a football coach, I'm the only one that I know of in the city, and one of very few in the state of Kentucky and across the nation for that matter. We both coach middle school. We just entered into our 7th season a couple of weeks ago, and we're excited about that. Mm-hmm. But we're also really, really involved in our community. We're on the board of the Lexington African American Sports Hall of Fame. We call it Layshaw. We're Legend Shine. You'll see that they are one of our major sponsors that we that support us and our podcast. We are the red carpet guests for the upcoming gala on September the 20th. So you can go to the layshoff.com on the website that's scrolling below to get your tickets, and make sure y'all come and take selfies with us and come holler at us on the red carpet, because we're excited about that. I also coach track, and Coach Bryant also coaches is a baseball, not only just high school, but he also does a travel team ball. But one of the things that we absolutely love doing is collaboration with people, other nonprofits that share the same passion for youth.
Before we get in there, right?
What do you think, Coach Brown? We're about to bring them on.
Two special guests coming on, but we're getting ready. Also, the University of Kentucky's first football practice.
Oh, yes.
The SEC picked in. Everybody's kicking in, getting ready for college football, NFL football. So it's becoming, but we got two special guests.
We got two special guests today.
Are we over the salary cap?
I don't think so,
because they big time now. They big time. Did you talk to their people and their people talk to our people?
Yeah, the contract negotiation was off the chain.
But it's worth it. Go ahead.
So we're going to bring on both of our guests. First, we're going to bring on Coach Emery Williams. And then we're going to bring on Coach Barry Brown. And so, guys, welcome to Hits and Heels. We appreciate y'all coming on today.
How y'all doing?
Very well.
Good. Everybody understand that we won't have any money next week because we have to pay them to come on, because their level is up here. Now, guys, thank y'all for taking time out to come on. Thank you.
Yes, you're welcome. Thank you for having us.
So the first thing that I want to do publicly is thank you both, because I don't know how we met, right? I still don't remember how we met, but somehow on live or something.
Yeah. Michael Douglas introduced us.
Okay.
Yes.
Shout out Michael. Michael Douglas also is the person that introduced me to the young lady that helped me start this podcast. Michael Douglas is
wow.
So
absolutely.
Yeah, he's back 2 for 2. Two great connections from people that we know that saw something in us that thought we needed to be connected. But the first thing that I want to do is thank you both, because your program recognized our son as your national youth person. Can you all talk about that?
Yeah.
Because this is the basis of your program, right?
Absolutely. So when Michael Douglas first turned us on, your son was in high school, Ty was in high school. And so I'm looking at it, oh man, he's a multi-sport athlete. And he's all state in baseball, he's all state in football. And I'm like, wait a minute. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I mean, well, that goes beyond saying. I'm looking at the total package, and I'm like, well, wait a minute, this kid is off the chain. And then I think that's when I sent Terry. I think I sent you a message. You responded, and then we started talking. And then you told me about your husband. And I'm like, wait a minute now, hold on, this dude, this is a Kentucky alum, a legend up there. And I'm like, wait a minute, hold on. And then started finding about you, Terry. You like, oh yeah, I do women's tackle football. And I'm like, hold up, wait a minute now. This family is off the chain all the way around. And then we did the student athlete playbook video conversation featuring Ty and both of you all. And just an outstanding family. And Ty, just watching him develop from a freshman all the way going into his junior season. Man, making those plays, you making those plays against the Georgia Bulldogs when they almost upset Georgia last year. And it was, yes, it's just been a tremendous honor and pleasure getting to know your family and then watching Ty do this great thing. So shout out to the Bryant family. And we're just thankful for being here. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, Coach Williams, this is your vision, this whole thing?
Well, it's kind of a combination of both our visions. So youth education and sports was born out of a vision to be able to help kids that think that they're helpless and hopeless, but actually they have an opportunity ahead of them that is just enormous, a time that goes way beyond what we experience as kids. And we are in the right place at the right time to empower the youth through extracurricular activity participation.
Wow. Well, I just know, when the gear came in, I'm just going to be honest with you, Coach Williams and Coach Brown, that Ty wasn't the only one sporting the gear. I'm just going to let you know. Because he wasn't home when he came in.
Right.
So he don't know what he got.
He got exactly. No. Exactly. That's right.
So this past year and the year before, who got it this past year and then the previous year?
The year before, if I'm not mistaken, it was actually we had Cole. We had she's actually, my adopted niece, my play niece, Addie Jones, down there in Florida, right there, Metro Orlando, Florida, and then another young lady right here in Georgia, Devin. She won it here. She went to Georgia State, and Addie went up to a school in Minnesota. So we had two basketball players that won it previously. And then after Ty, you had, if I'm not mistaken, it was Jordan Rayner, a softball player. She goes to Georgia State out of here, the state of Georgia. And Ty, she was along with Ty. Jordan Rayner was along with Ty.
Okay.
Let me hold on. I gotta get these right. It was Izzy out of Meadow Creek High School, offensive lineman that is at Kennesaw State University right now. He won it after Ty and Jordan, because Jordan Rayner and Ty, they were players of the year. We had a male and a female that year, and then after that, it was Izzy that won it, and he's at Kennesaw State University. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
I was kind of hoping my niece would have came on. We have a niece. We're very close to the Fields family that lives down in y'all's area. They done produced 3 Justin Fields, who's now with the Jets, and then their daughter played for the University of Georgia, and the youngest one just signed with Michigan, and she has a state championship in basketball and in volleyball.
Yes.
Right, and she's down there in y'all's area. And now she'll be a freshman at Michigan, and she'll be playing basketball at Michigan this year. So I was kind of hoping she'd have came up on y'all's radar. And that's my
she was not on our radar.
I probably should have made sure that she was on y'all's radar. That's my bad. That's my bad.
What high school? What high school did she go to? Harrison too? Or what high school did she go to? Parham. Okay.
Parham or Parham. I don't know how to pronounce it.
That's Mount Perrin is where she
Mount Perrin. That's it.
Yeah.
Okay. Mount Perrin.
Private school, I think. Because I don't know. I don't know.
Well, but the thing about it is, when you're talking about Georgia athletics, from A to Z, it's a lot of great athletes. So not coming up on your radar ain't shocking, because there's so many. There's so many that does. And the reason why I'm very familiar with that, when Ty was playing travel baseball, we went down there, and I don't know what they pay for high school football stadiums. Oh my gosh. I mean, college stadiums don't look like that. And it's
you saw Buford, right?
Yes. And it's amazing how, in my question on the floor to both of you can both answer in your own way, is how can you keep up? Because some athletes got to be, sliding through the cracks. I mean, that's a hard job, right?
Correct.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and jump on that one. So the level of competition is very high in Georgia, as you stated. And one of the contributing factors to that is the fact that they allow NIL in high school. So in turn, now these kids can monetize their name, likeness, and image while they're in high school, which prepares them for college so they have a running start. For example, Flau'jae Johnson went to the high school that I used to coach at Sprayberry High School in Marietta, and she already had more than 2 million followers making money from her music performance as well as basketball. And so, that's part of the reason that the competition is so high. Another reason is because they put a lot of money into the programs in most of the rural areas. When you go within the city, it's a little bit different. They really are playing some good ball, but they got to fight to get to the level that some of the other schools are at.
I love that.
Well, Coach Brown, can you also elaborate on that as well, please?
Absolutely. And I see Alvin Brown just popped in. Yeah, if you look at
yes,
and he's absolutely correct. Yeah, we got high school coaches making six figures as coaches in the state of Georgia. And let me go back a little bit. If I played with the number one player in the country coming out of high school back in 1990, his name is Andre Hastings. He was the number one player in the country. That same year, we also had Garrison Hurst. Then a year by
excuse me, I'll be right back. Go ahead. Keep talking.
So if you can remember, and people are going to remember this, the University of Georgia was absolutely known as a running school, still known as running back you in a lot of circles. But
I don't know if it's me or it's them.
I think it's his.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Hey, you see the jersey?
Very much so. So that tells me that you have a place for Hurst in your heart.
Yes, right.
And he's right out of Lincoln County, which is a one high school county in which he performed very well. I think they won 2 state championships. And I was fortunate enough to know him when he was back in high school. He was a great athlete. I was coaching in South Carolina at that time. But Coach Bryant, you guys asked about something that I didn't answer the whole question. Was how did we form this program? How did all of a sudden we end up with youth education and sports? And it was born out of a lack within the city of Augusta. So I was working at Glen Hills High School, and it's a pretty rough area. And I was grieving over the fact that some of these great athletes weren't on the team. And I asked this one kid named George, I said, "Hey, George, why aren't you playing? Because you can shoot the ball." He said, "Coach, they won't let me." I said, "They won't let you? I mean, how are they not letting me?" So I went and talked to the athletic director. And he said George hadn't passed a grade since his freshman year, and he was a sophomore at that time.
Oh, man.
So he didn't understand about academic eligibility. So one day I'm grieving on the way to work, just in the morning, getting ready to go to work, windshield wipers are going. I come to a left turn, and the word came, start them young. And then I took that as a vision to start teaching kids younger about what is this student athlete program, or what is this idea that people are having where they're saying you got to get C's or you're not going to be able to play, which ends up being a whole different other problem. In the state of South Carolina, it was B's. If you weren't making B's within the city, you wouldn't be able to play. They've relaxed that since about 10 years. But with that grief, I took it to heart. We looked at all the different programs in the Augusta area. went to the commissioners and said, hey, we have a program that we've developed that we think would help the kids. They asked how much it would cost, and they laughed us out of the chambers. But we weren't asking for money. We were asking for permission to be able to work within the kids in different school systems, but they still weren't hearing it. Fast forward 15, 20 years, I moved to Atlanta, and I'm at a function, a Lazarius, I might be saying it wrong, Lazarius Sports for Good in the west side of Atlanta. And we all came together to talk about the state of sports and how we can impact kids through sports. And I met this gentleman named Barry Brown, who had just published the book called The Student Athlete Playbook.
Okay.
Looking back at my notes, I had written down TSAAP as a method of teaching the kids all the different things that they need to do to be student athletes. And then he walks in and I said, where you been? He said, where you been? And everything since then, we've been like brothers. And we've been
I love it.
Yeah.
There's nothing like collaboration. I love collaboration. We had that conversation when we got a chance to talk, Coach. So how do we make this happen? How do we collaborate with the community? How do we bring parents in? How do we make the magic happen with with your YES program?
So our program is a community-based program. We're not trying to go into communities and change communities, but we train communities to serve themselves. So we have a model that we use that basically takes a student athlete and student artists and teach them all the fundamentals of being well-rounded, with the focus being on character development and also on leadership development, which are synonymous. And we use our Amazon bestseller, The Student Athlete Playbook, as guidance and the curriculum for that direction.
So the curriculum can be bought on Amazon, or how many other opportunities, Mr. Brown?
Well, we have locally here in the state of Georgia, right here in Metro Atlanta. You can go to Madu Bookstore in Greenbrier Mall, that's Southwest Atlanta. And then out in Morrow, you have Nubian Bookstore, that's out in the South Lake area. So those are the two retail stores you can go to. And then, of course, if you're national, you can in another state, or you're not in the city of Atlanta, you can order it on Amazon. So that's one of the things we also want to do, expand our physical distribution too. I know a lot of people don't go to bookstores. A lot of bookstores don't even exist physically anymore. But we are open to partnering with any bookstores that want to carry the physical product. So let's just say Coach Terry Bryant and Coach Bryant want, to set up distribution up there in Lexington, Kentucky, then we're more than happy to make sure that y'all get the books and y'all get them distributed, or people can buy them directly from you all. So whatever way, we do that as well.
Yeah, but that's something that instead of what's the term is that Jesse Jackson said, let's be about it, not talk about it, because that would be a very good idea here, because it opens up a lot. I'm in the back seat here. I'm in the back seat, and my wife let me come into the front seat, because she's the one that got me very familiar with what y'all were doing. And not just for the aspect of getting this award. It was beyond that. I mean, that was the last thing she talked about. And she talked about all the stuff y'all were doing, what your vision was from her perspective. And it's a very wild thing, good thing going on. And I go back to Coach Williams' comment is, when he just said, and I was like cleaning up something because I made a mess and I didn't get yelled at. Thank y'all for being on the air. I didn't get yelled at. I would have got yelled at. But but like you said, the vision of a young man that's not getting the grades, and a lot of times they don't get the grades because people don't push them to get the grades. I mean, let's be real, guys. A lot of time athletes get pushed by and they get used to it. And
coaches just want to use up their talent.
Well, even the
for that particular moment. Yes. And not really looking out for them for their future, so they let them get away with the behavior,
and that's not just in,
the
Coach,
bad grades.
Coach Brian. That's not just in the 2025. That's always been the case.
Yes,
if you can benefit and make money off of that kid, that's what people did. And I love y'all stepped in and figured that and said, look, this is what we're gonna do, the YES program. So we gotta off the air make this happen here in Lexington.
Absolutely.
So we talked, Coach Emery, about maybe setting up some type of a luncheon or some type of a conference, either here in Lexington or maybe doing something on a bigger scale down there in Atlanta. What's that gonna look like for us?
So again, this is in production, it's draft form. We have done some activities in different areas with different partners or affiliates, as we call them. We don't call them partners unless they have some skin in the game, if you understand what I'm saying.
Understand.
I like that. I like that.
Go ahead, you can write it down.
I'm writing it down. Because everybody knows Coach Bryant, everybody knows me. I will steal what you say, but I will tell them I got it from you. Because that's
sir. That's good. Yeah. Hey, that's what that's called citing your sources, Coach. You got to cite your sources. Remember back in the day, the footnotes and all that stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Footnotes, yes. So my pen's on the floor. So excuse me, let me get my pen.
So again, to be able to implement it there in Kentucky is merely us adding on to what you're doing. It's an innovative process in which we're not trying to give you a new type wheel. We just want to make your wheel shiny by adding this educational component, teaching kids how to set goals, teaching them how to not only develop a resume, but to develop a portfolio, which is the actual documentation of that resume. It's called talking the walk, or walking the talk. The resume is talking the walk, and the portfolio is walking the talk.
And I love the term you said, setting down your goals, because I had a summer baseball team, and I said it's probably one of the best teams I've ever coached. I mean, personality, effort. We just wasn't winning games, and at that time it wasn't good. So I made them write down their goals, and I said, when you write them down, don't look at them. Just write them down and look at them tomorrow morning and see if that's your true vision. And we end up doing some things, won a couple rings and finished strong. And that's something people don't realize, Coach Williams, correct? Is writing your goals down to understand what you want to get done and for your future, correct?
Yes, and we use that old adage, failing to plan is planning to fail. So what we do within our program is we encourage all of our participants to set 3 goals. One is a educational goal, the other is an extracurricular activity goal, and the third, may be the most important, is a social emotional behavioral goal. And once you set those goals,
explain that social. That last one is interesting. And you got to explain that, Coach. You can't just go off on that. You got to explain that, because everybody looked at you, they look like this.
As you see, I get on my soapbox and I'm just ready to just keep on building that thing.
So what is that last goal? That's pretty good.
Yeah,
so the social emotional behavioral goal is something that everybody needs to work on. It's looking deep within yourself. For instance, one of the kids, just pulling them out of the hat, he had a problem with getting to school on time. And so we dove into it in one of our sessions and said, well, why can't you get in school on time? And we knew he wasn't driving. So we came up with a plan as a group. Okay, so you're going to get up early and then do what you need to do, make your bed, get ready, brush your teeth, all the things you need to do in the morning time. And his mom's going to notice all of these details. And so she's going to start getting ready a little bit earlier, and then they'll end up getting there on time. Something of that type of thought process, but then not just setting those goals, but get up every day and tell someone all three of your goals. Doesn't matter. You can tell your brother, your sister, your mom, dad, your teacher, your coaches, say those goals every day. And then that self-fulfilling prophecy takes place. But one of the best parts is that the last week of the month, we have them to talk about that goal and evaluate that goal. And they chew over it. They're well versed at it. They can tell us what worked, what didn't work. Was it a measurement, or was it too high or too low? And then we help them to reset those goals for that next month. So it's a continuous process. We want them to do that every single month and to talk about those goals every single day to someone. We say every day, you might hit or miss here or there, but you're going to remember those goals if you have it consciously in your head and say that. And Coach Barry Brown and I thought we started with elementary and middle school. So we had a test pilot at Utopian Academy for the Arts Elementary School. And we thought we were going to have to water down the program. And we had a kindergartner, it might have been first grade. I can't remember which one it was, Barry, but he said one of the terms he used was selflessness.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. That was
first grade.
Yeah.
It was
Prince.
It was Prince. Yeah, it was Prince. Absolutely. And now let me I'm just gonna step in, Coach, and you continue. So
Please.
Coach and I was shocked because we had never worked with that age group before. And so we were like, oh man, we got to baby down the information. We got to, scale it down instead of scaling it up like we normally do. But then after the first two sessions, like Coach said, they start talking back to us and expressing themselves. And we're like, oh, wait a minute. We can do the same thing that with the high school. We can do the same thing we're doing with the high school students with them, because they were understanding exactly what we were doing. And some of the parents that attend some of the sessions, they were just sitting there in amazement because they had never seen their kids react like that. So it's all about a lot of people misunderstand the word educate. Educate means to withdraw. So an educator's only job is to bring something out of the kids. And if we use that approach more, we will be surprised at how these young people come out of their shell, because we're actually pulling it out of them. We're setting up the questions, like y'all are asking us these questions tonight. So y'all are bringing information out of us. And that is what we're supposed to do with our kids. We're supposed to present information. We're supposed to have discussions, and then we're supposed to listen to them and watch them grow right before our eyes. And that's what we've seen with a lot of our sessions, the word educate. And it's just a beautiful thing to see them. And one of the best things ever, and I know y'all have seen this from coaching all your students, all your student athletes over the years, is when they get older and they get into their 20s and their 30s, and you run back into them, and then they're like, man, Coach Brian, Coach Brian, Coach Williams, Coach Brown, and you like, wow. And they're introducing you to their children, and they're happy to see you, and they hugging you.
And he's coaching their children now.
Exactly.
Yes.
And the funniest thing is, I think the first time, and when you say that, you say it very humbly. Y'all have done it for a while. We've done it for a while. And is that not the greatest feeling when a past player comes back to you? And I remember, and I vaguely remember, actually strongly, I shouldn't say vaguely, I remember the first time that ever happened. I was in the mall, and I don't go to the mall. But at that time, I was in the mall, and I was walking, and I turned, and I noticed people were staring. There were two police officers running at me, trying to get my attention. I coached them in high school. Wow. And they saw me, and they said, wait, I want to introduce you to my wife, because they were about to leave. Because they were just there, but they were in duty. They just got off duty.
Right.
And when you said that brought back that memory. And that's a special thing. That's a special thing.
It's special. No, it's special.
Hey,
so that's what we do.
I got to throw this in real quick. You did see my Garrison Hurst jersey, right?
I did. I'm sorry. I don't know what was going on with my screen. I must have lost signal.
No, I just got to make sure you saw. I know Coach Williams saw. I just got to make sure you saw that I have Garrison Hurst in my house. Okay, let's go on.
Hanging on the wall. It's hanging on the wall, by the way.
Hey, coaches, let coach the Bryant coaching tree. Let me say that. So what I was saying, I think y'all asked me about the birth in seeing Georgia high school football go big time. Though, if you go back to 1990, well, 89 was our last season of high school. So Andre and Garrison went on to the University of Georgia where they played. And I went to a Division II school in South Carolina called Presbyterian College, where I got my education and played, right? Yeah. And so if you remember back then, Georgia was truly a running back school. But what they did was they went after Andre to recruit him to bring in the passing era at Georgia, because the very next year of Coach Williams, when he was up in Marietta, Georgia, there was a young man by the name of Eric Zaire that was a hot shot quarterback that they recruited him to, and that brought in the passing era in the state of Georgia at the University of Georgia. And what you saw was high school quarterbacks now being groomed to be passing quarterbacks instead of wishbone and wing T quarterbacks. Now you start, and Eric Zaire was the first of that kind. And the year my school, shout out to Mara High School, we won the 87 state title here in Georgia. Now this gonna make you laugh with all the quarterback numbers that were going around now. But back then, our quarterback, Jeff Howard, was the only 2,000-yard passer in the whole state of Georgia.
Oh, wow.
Only 2,000 yards. And he threw for the most yards in the state of Georgia that year. And that was 1987. So 2 to 3 years later, when we were seniors, now you started seeing these quarterbacks becoming passers. And Eric Zaire and Andre Hastings took that to the University of Georgia, and you saw this explosion. And now Georgia, if you looked at the recent Max Preps, top 100 teams in the country, the state of Georgia had the most. They had 16 teams on that national list of high school, the best programs in the United States. 16 schools in the state of Georgia. That's unbelievable. And we're not anywhere close to the size of a state like California or Texas. Yeah. So that says it all for high school football. And then when you put in what Buford just did, up there building that $62 million stadium.
It's like a college.
Hey,
it looks like a college.
Hands down, Georgia is where it's at when it comes to high school football right now in the whole United States.
The only problem I have with Georgia, I'm sorry, it's too dang hot.
It's hot down here, Coach. Oh, Brian, it's hot. Hey, the minute you walk out the house, I'm talking about from your garage door to your car, if it's outside, you sweating. I'm talking about 3 steps and you sweating.
You can't even. It's ridiculous. Hey, I know we go down there, and I'm telling you right now.
Hey, well, y'all were down here, Coach Terry Bryant. I know y'all were down here about a month or so ago.
Yeah, about a month ago, yes, sir.
Hey, I hope y'all were hydrated out there.
It was still hot in the rain. Now, when it rains in Lexington, it cools down. It's hot. Don't be trying to play it out, fellas.
I'm from Alabama.
Yeah,
so he just went home, so he can't stand. I've been trying to get him to move back south, and he can't stand it.
I'm just saying that my beautiful wife can't convince me to move to the south. But I'm telling you right now, nobody's gonna see me till after 8 p.m. That's all I'm saying.
Hey, Coach, it's still hot. It's still hot right now.
It's still hot, but it's cooler. So my question is I think Coach Williams answered it a little bit, and I don't know if he finished it. Is what is you see in 2029? How do you see what y'all doing 2 to 3 years down the road?
Very much so. Right at our process right now, we are attempting to perfect our streamlining process so that when someone goes to our website and clicks on our registration button, that it will be a smooth transition through the entire program that will help to teach kids all the parts that we're putting out there.
Well, I tell you, and then Coach Brian, Coach Terry Mills Brian's about to step in to ask y'all a question, but I have another question because I'm older. So if I don't say my question, I forget it because I'm at that age now. So I'm not gonna lie. So
we understand. We understand.
Yes, my thing about what y'all do is amazing, and you know what I love about what both of y'all, Coach Brown and Coach Williams, do. You explain it like the movie Philadelphia, like Denzel Washington said. Explain it to me like I'm a 3-year-old. So when you're talking about your program, y'all explain it like they don't know. Because a lot of times people explain programs thinking they know. And that's what got me caught up in y'all's program that y'all running in the YES program, is because y'all do a very good job of saying, keep it simple, stupid. Yes. And I mean that. And I compliment y'all both for that.
Thank you. Well, we're both, educators, and that's our background, education. So when you see us, that's what you see us doing. Even though I'm not in education full time anymore, I get to work with kids almost every day because of the programming that we do and the other in our affiliate programs and all our brother organizations and sister organizations, just like you all. You have us on here being able to talk, and hopefully somebody's listening and learning right now. And we know we're a small organization. You're looking at the organization right in your face, and we have some wonderful people that volunteer with us. So we shout out Joy Carter, our wives, Amanda Williams, Twyla Harris Brown. Our wives are very integral in what we do. Ty Austin, all the people that volunteer and all the people that support us, financially. We're nothing without them. So anytime we talk, we have to explain it like nobody knows us, because I look at it like they don't, because I don't think millions of people know who we are. And we're growing. And we're growing. And I don't know if Coach, I'm sure y'all talked about it, Coach Williams and Coach Terry Brown, when y'all talked last week or what have you. We just went to California about 2.5 weeks ago, and the first year we took 2 kids out there, and then this year we were blessed to take 8 kids out there to our brother organization out there, We Are Game. So shout out to Alan Thigpen, the whole We Are Game crew out there.
Karen Rogers.
Karen Rogers. Yes. So we just had a great time, and we were able to expose, and y'all know this feeling too. Imagine when you take that kid, that young man, that young lady, and they have their first airplane ride, and it's to California at that. It's an amazing feeling.
That's an amazing experience for a kid.
Yes.
And then seeing their parents respond the way we see their parents respond, and we know these kids are going to remember this for the rest of their lives. And so we explain it like that because we know we still have a lot of room to grow. And like Coach said, we're making changes. We was up at 7:00 in the morning just the other day having a meeting with these technology gurus, and so we're just trying to get better like anybody else. So that's why we attempt to explain it like that.
Well, you said something that caught my attention. You said we're both educators. That's the biggest problem. A lot of educators don't think the way y'all two think. Let's be real. They assume that the person already knows.
Right.
And so I'm not trying to dilute, and I know Coach Brian, she's got a question for y'all, but I'm not trying to dilute it. But what I am trying to say is y'all do a great job of not just saying I'm an educator, because usually educators are a little arrogant, and they think everybody knows what they're thinking. We don't know.
No, sir.
When you educated, you think everybody's at your level. So again, I say this again.
No.
To Coach Williams and Coach Brown, y'all do a great job of keeping it simple and not logical, but keeping it very simple for them. So thank y'all for that.
Thank you.
So before I go into my question, we are live, so I do want to make sure that we acknowledge the people in the comment section, because there are a couple of questions in the comments. So we do have Alvin Brown is probably one of our most faithful.
Yeah. Hey, all I know is that brother is real. Yeah. That goes with the knowledge.
Right.
Absolutely.
And because he's so dear to my heart, I am going to ask everybody to pray for his son.
Yes, amen.
And his family. And he also had a death in his family not too long ago. But he is absolutely, when it comes, we're going to talk about support. That's going to be my next question. We're going to talk about support. But when he's the epitome of just support from the first time he has watched our show. I think in the last 2 years, I think I can count one hand a show that he missed, and that's because he had overslept. My auntie Mary Preston is on. Thank you for coming on and watching. And Mr. Brown has a couple of questions. He said that the term student athlete seems to be, let me put it on here, seems to be antiquated term because money and other influences are luring kids away from education. How are y'all addressing this?
So you may have heard me say something a little bit earlier. We think that student athletes and student artists are synonymous. They're the same. And so we push our student artists just as hard as we push any student athlete. So what we mean by that is anyone who's participating in an extracurricular activity. That means anything after school, if you're doing robotics, if you're painting, if you're dancing, if you're singing, any kind of extracurricular activity that you do that motivates you is recognized through student artists or student athletes. And that's how we look at it. We just want kids to stay motivated, and who knows what they're going to come up with next. Some of the kids are into cooking. Some are into different things other than just athletics. So we want to recognize them as well.
Mm-hmm. And I'll add to that, Coach. I agree with Mr. Brown about that, Mr. Alvin Brown. Yeah, it definitely looks like that student part is going away because everybody's out here trying to do the money grab. However, there are a tremendous amount of true student athletes that are still out there, because the reality is everybody's not Flau'jae Johnson. Everybody's not getting that. Those are the high level student athletes that have somehow branded themselves at such a level that companies are throwing money at them.
And let me add to that. We also use that student athlete or student artist label to motivate kids so that they can leverage that student athlete opportunity or the student artist opportunity for higher education and to be well-rounded and to get gainful employment.
Okay, I'm gonna throw a question out here. It's kind of on the fence. So, coaches, here's my question. As a baseball coach, I had many times that I had a few great athletes that was a baseball player that could skip college and go straight to the major league. And I've been very blessed to have that. I have 6 total.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, that's a lot. And I remember as a young coach, I used to say, get the money. You can always go back for the education. So how do you feel in 2025 if I'm a stupid coach that says something stupid like that now? So how do you respond to that? You see my question?
I see where we're going.
It's a tough question, and it's a tough answer. So with that said, I didn't mean to put you on that spot, but I'm just curious how each one of you would answer that if a parent said, my son's he's getting paid. He's getting paid. You know, we're struggling paying bills, but he's getting paid. So his education he's getting paid.
Yes, sir.
So how do y'all deal with that? If that's a fair enough question.
Yeah, good question.
Okay, I'll go real quick, Coach. I'm gonna go real quick. Now I believe, Coach Brian, I believe in going ahead and getting the money. No ifs and buts about it. Because each individual situation, each individual family dynamic and situation is different. So you have to factor in this? When are you going to be able to have another opportunity to see this kind of money this fast? That's one thing.
Yeah.
Now, the next thing is, will you be able to use that money properly to set yourself up for the future? That's the second thing you got to look at.
Say it again. Say it again.
You know what I'm saying? And then the third is, what is your long-term earning potential? Because even though you're getting this money now, no matter how successful you are, 9 times out of 10, your professional playing career is over, and you're only 30-something years old. So you have a long time to live. So those are the 3 factors that you have to have in play. So first, get the money. Yes. How do you invest? I'm going to use the correct word. I said set up, but how do you invest that money properly for long-term financial success? So that takes some financial literacy. And then what skills are you going to develop? Because you have to live the rest of your life. Because here's what a lot of people have left out in their calculations of young people growing into adults. God willing, you're going to be an adult much longer than you ever were a kid. Let me say that again.
That's my word.
God willing, you're going to be an adult much longer than you were ever a kid. So you have to think in terms of, parents have to think in terms of raising adults, not raising kids. We're raising our kids to turn into powerful and productive and critical thinking adults. And if we do that, then getting the money early is not going to be a problem, because that's what we've been preparing for. It's when we don't prepare for them to be successful and productive adults, getting that money early can be a detriment. But I'm going to always say, Coach, go get the money. I'm going to always tell them that, because you're absolutely right. You can go back to school. You've seen Shaq do it. You've seen Vince Carter do it. You've seen a lot of amazing athletes go back and get their degrees because they made their promises to themselves, to their mamas and their grandmamas and their daddies. And hey, get the money. But what I'm urging people to be is financially literate enough to do something with the money when they get it. Coach,
and that rolls right into my answer. That's great lead in. Thank you, sir. Yes, so sir. We always talk about having a backup plan to your backup plan. Mm-hmm. So as we train these kids through the program, we know if they stick to the game plan, push hard, stay faithful, keep the nose clean, that's a byproduct. That money's going to be a byproduct. When it comes, great, because it's going to come in one form or another. It may not be the millions. It might be tens of thousands or whatever the number is and whatever.
I can live off that. I can live off that, Coach.
Yes, sir. So it may come, but also have a backup plan to your backup plan. And what that means is start your business in elementary and middle school, because the NIL has become a business. And if you're not prepared for it when you're in high school, you're missing out on business opportunities. And then in turn, you're going to miss out on those business opportunities because you're behind the learning curve in college. So we start talking about all those things as far as building well-rounded individuals, so that when that money comes, you have an aptitude and an understanding of the financial liabilities and risks, the taxes and all the parts that you're responsible for, so that when you stop playing, because one day you're going to stop playing, you need to have a backup plan in place.
Wow. Mm-hmm. Go ahead, babe. I'm sorry. Please.
So when we had a conversation, I name dropped, and we exchanged some numbers and names. So remind me that I have to send you Pi's number. Pi was on my podcast a couple of weeks ago, and he is one of only 4, and he's the only African American here in Kentucky that has all of the certifications to actually deal with sports and entertainment here. But he's got some type, I don't know the name of it, I don't know. Mm-hmm. But he's the only one that has some type of dealing with sports certification to be able to talk with parents and student athletes about setting up their money.
Yeah. But the thing about people don't understand, and I said this dealing with in my past when we had to turn the oven on, and we thought it was pretty cool to sleep in sleeping bags because it was gas, it wasn't electricity,
Right.
and you didn't understand that, and that's what people got to understand when y'all two are talking about getting your finance right, getting it right, because when you don't have and you get, you spend. If you used to have, and that's what people don't understand. Am I right, Coach Williams?
That's the reason why when people win the lottery,
they lose it because they're not used
absolutely.
to having it, and everybody go, "How do you do that?" It is simple. I'm not used to having, and then when I get, I spend. Both of you, please follow up on that. Am I wrong?
You're so right. And we've had several situations where we have a partner that is called, I Think, Credit Union. So we get free credit accounts for all of our participants. In turn, if they make referrals, they get $50 per referral. So one of the kids did the math, said, hey, if I get 10 referrals, I got $500. So yeah, that's right. And he said, oh, I can go buy this and buy that. I said, no, that's not what
No.
So we have plenty of opportunities to educate the kids. It's just putting it in perspective.
But the whole key is education is they don't know. And what I'm in coaching, and a kid made a mistake today, and I said, guys, he don't know. Not knowing ain't the problem. Knowing and not doing is the problem.
Yes, sir.
So not knowing doesn't. It's not a problem because I don't show any reaction to a young person that doesn't know, or a family that doesn't know.
Yes.
And everybody going, why didn't you do this? Because we knew they didn't know. So,
correct.
I mean,
Coach. Yeah, Coach Brian, you hit on, if you heard what Coach Williams said, and then you just said it, not knowing. So, we've heard the term, the phrase, ignorance is bliss. Well, when I was a young man in the entertainment business, and this what I use now because I was taught this valuable lesson. So shout out to Mr. Terry Brantley, one of the great entrepreneurs here in the state of Georgia and really in the Southeast. First African American to have a Ford dealership in the Southeast in like 1976. Yeah.
Oh wow.
So tremendous businessman, right? So he had a entertainment venue what me and my team were doing some shows out of here in the early 2000s, and I made a mistake and I didn't pay the security after the event because I'm thinking the security that came with the fee to rent the venue. I didn't know it was an a la carte situation, and so ooh is right, Coach. Ooh is right.
Hey, I've been in that world. I've been in that world. Ooh.
So we had a great rapport with each other. He respected me as a young businessman in the entertainment business, and so the head of security called me and was like, "Oh man, Mr. B took care of us, man, but you got to come tighten him up." And I'm like, "What?" I said, "Yes, sir. I'll be there shortly." You know what I'm saying? And so I got up there, and we were talking, and he was like, "Hey, listen," he said, "Boom, boom, boom." He broke it down to me, and I said, "What we just talked about, man. I didn't know." I said, "I didn't know," and then you know what he said to me? He said, "Not knowing isn't an excuse." I said, "What?" He said, "Not knowing is not an excuse."
But I got a question. It's easy for him to say because he knew. So I'm going to disagree with him. Because not knowing is how do you answer or finish something if you don't know?
I got it. Here's the answer. Please. You ready? You ready,
yes.
Coach? Because I was like you. I like, well, how am I supposed to know that? You ready?
Yes.
When you're doing business or you in the classroom or you out on the sports field and you're doing something, right? What keeps you asking a question? Because you don't know. So you need to ask, have I done everything I'm supposed to do, Coach? I'm in the classroom. Hey, teacher, am I done everything I'm supposed to do?
Wow.
So when I was filling out that paperwork to rent that venue and to do, I did shows there for 7 years because I had to learn. That day taught me a valuable lesson. Anything that goes wrong, if I'm in charge, that's on me. I have to be accountable. And so I need to ask questions up front. That means I need to read. Because watch this. They say reading is fundamental, right?
Yeah.
If I would have read the agreement that I signed, I would have saw in there that I had to pay security separately from the venue.
But not just, Coach Brown, not just reading it, but processing it.
Process all of it.
Because you can read it, but you have to process that information.
And that's why you have to ask questions.
That's why you got to ask questions.
If you don't ask a question, that's on you. That's not on the teacher. That's not on the person. That's on you as the individual. Because once we stop making excuses, this is what I learned. Here's the revelation out of all of that. Once you start asking questions, once you take accountability for your actions, everything changes on how you see the world. Because you're not looking for, oh, they just don't like me. Oh, it's their fault I didn't succeed. Oh, all that changes because it's on you.
Yes.
And that's what I learned. That's what I learned.
Personal accountability, I think, is one of the things that's missing. That's
it.
Out with a lot of kids in this new era of kids.
But here's the funniest thing, and you say that when we took over our Crawford football team, and then we had a new president, new AD came in, and we had 4 bookkeepers, and you're actually correct because that's what my mind was. I would say, I would turn in a PO and I would say to that bookkeeper, is there anything else I need to do? That is a question. And it was a natural question to me.
Yeah.
Is everything good? Did I do it right? And then when a new regime came in, I found out I wasn't doing it right. But then I got irritated, like, wait a second, I did ask the question. You know, is it anything? Because she can relate. Because I was like, the new regime here is not happy with me on my paperwork, and I thought I was doing it right because I did ask the question. Right. And there's nothing you can do about that if you ask the question and somebody answered it. But what you just said, Coach Brown, that's huge. And and I believe in double plays. I'm a baseball coach.
Yes,
I believe in doubles. So I think Coach Williams, that's okay. Miss Coach Barnes, okay. Repeat what you just said because some people might have missed it.
I got you.
It's people in the back.
It's people in the back. I got you. So here it is. I'm gonna try to make it as simple as possible. Young people, parents, coaches, everybody that's watching this tremendous podcast, Hits and Heels. Listen, we are accountable for our own actions, our thoughts, and what we actually say. Words do matter. So when we are presented with an opportunity, it is our responsibility to read the documentation, the documents, the information that is before us before we do any transaction. Coach Bryant mentioned this earlier. He talked about transactions. Those transactions can actually relate and correlate and connect to money. So if we do not read the information before us, they used to call it the fine print. We must read the fine print because that's where it's really at. That's where the information really is in the fine print. And if you do not read that, you can miss vital information that can cause economic harm and physical harm to yourself when you don't read that documentation. So you are accountable to read the information before you sign anything or do any transaction. And you best believe I ran out of that building and went to the bank and got that money and brought it back to Mr. Brantley. So shout out to that lesson that I've carried with me all these years. That's a true lesson. That's a true.
Hey, me and Coach Williams on the same page right now.
Hey, Coach, no, I don't play. Hey,
you don't play about it.
Listen,
you don't play about that at all.
Listen, people, y'all know this. You don't play with people money. You don't play with people kids, and you don't play with people food. Them 3 things. I have to
throw in, Coach. you don't play with people's wives.
Oh, you definitely don't play with people. Why? Yeah, we're gonna add that fourth one in. Hey, Coach, I got one of them right in the other room. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, I got one of them. Hey, you definitely don't. Hey, you better. Hey, man. Hey, and they say, I wish I would.
About people, especially with me being a football coach and in a male-dominated space.
Because
he don't play.
My favorite saying is, "Don't take my kindness for weakness."
Woo! That's right. That's right. Hey, the great poet laureate Jay-Z says, "Don't let the necessary occur."
I'm sorry. Hold up, Coach Brown. Say his name again.
Jay-Z. You know.
Okay, one more time. Put a hate over here. He's the best rapper
ever. That's right. Yeah. What we got a problem? We got a problem with that. Oh man, Coach Emery Brown, who's your favorite rapper of all time?
No. I don't care. Jay-Z's the best rapper ever, and so I put on my CD Jay-Z's greatest hits just because I'm driving. I'm control of the radio.
Coach Terry Brown, I want to still answer a question that you asked earlier. Because these guys
go fell out, Coach Williams.
Yeah, we go. Yeah. This is what happens when we come to hits and heels. You know what I'm saying?
You had mentioned a luncheon, and I wanted to share with your viewers.
Absolutely.
One of our crown jewels is called the South Fulton County Scholarship Student Athlete Luncheon. Mm-hmm. And this was created by Representative, help me out, Coach Brown, on that.
That's State Representative Lydia Glaze, District 67 here in the state of Georgia. Mm-hmm.
And her vision was to have a luncheon to honor the student athletes who are frequently first generation college recipients, and they've earned scholarships. So Coach Brown and I have been involved with conducting a luncheon, an annual luncheon, and bringing all these student athletes who've signed letters of intent to a luncheon in South Fulton County, and bring in speakers that have wisdom to pour into them, financial literacy, among many other topics. And that's what I was sharing with you. Brian, you want to add anything to that?
Yeah, and this is something, when you start talking about what we can do in Lexington, Kentucky, that is one of the things that we can do. I heard y'all mention luncheon. That could be something, because I've talked about when we were honoring Ty. I was talking to I have some good people in Kentucky, right there in Lexington, that I know they'll probably lend a hand as well. So I have to connect y'all, to connect the families. But this is something that we definitely need to talk about, off air, because that is one of the things that we can do and make a great impact. Because now students, we've been doing it since 2015, and now students look forward to achieving that opportunity to come, and we want to get it even bigger, where we can start bringing in underclassmen. Because what we're finding out now, and Coach, you alluded to it, these kids that are able to go to a high level right out of high school, some of these kids are leaving early. They're graduating in December. We do the luncheon in March. So some of the kids are gone already to college when we do the luncheon. So now we're looking at possibly starting where we start bringing in those juniors that are there to replace some of those seniors that are already gone off to college. So we've had that happen several times in these last couple of years. So now we may have to expand, and that's going to be a beautiful thing when we start bringing in these juniors. So now these freshmen and sophomores have something to really work toward, because they can come as early as their junior year instead of waiting to their senior year. So it's a tremendous luncheon. You bring in these speakers, and I think this year, this 2024 luncheon, 25 luncheon that we did, we probably had the best group of speakers, and we've had some awesome speakers over the years, but it seems like this year's speakers, these kids just attached to them immediately, and throughout the luncheon, we're just captivated and engaged in the information being presented. And so shout out to all our sponsors. Our one of our top sponsors, of course, Representative Lydia Glaze, by far the founder of the luncheon. Then my Morrow brother, Cornell Hardy, who is the general manager of D&K Soup City. He does a tremendous presentation every luncheon where he gives the young men ties and he teaches them how to tie ties. So imagine that at the luncheon, a young man that has never put on a tie before, that has never tied a tie before, gets to do that for the first time in their lives at a luncheon where they're being honored and recognized. So those are just some of the great things that we've done. And shout out to the 2024, our featured speaker, Coach Terrence Mathis, the head coach at Morehouse College. Now, he was our 24th, and the kids loved his story. I didn't know his full story. I knew he went to Redan High School, but when he starts talking about his faith and how he believes in God and how that correlated to him becoming this NFL star, unbelievable story. So shout out to all the great speakers we've had over the years.
Mm-hmm. And my thing is, when I've listened to both of y'all and what you've done, I mean, I'm telling you, the light bulb has popped on. And I really mean that. And my wife can tell you, and I can say this, I'm skeptical of everybody. And she'll tell you, I don't, if you
don't trust everybody.
I don't trust people.
Yes,
I love what y'all are doing. And I didn't realize how broad. I mean, you know, and I truly mean that. And people that hear my voice knows Coach Bryant. They know me here. And I just stare at you in a minute. You start talking, and she be like, "Why are you so rude?" I'm not rude. Right. It's what you bringing toward me, and I've been very blessed to know a lot of people. And if I endorse something, people follow me, and I appreciate that because they know I just don't do it just to do it.
Just anybody.
I mean, she get mad at me.
We don't collaborate with everybody that comes.
Just talks.
That collaborate. I mean, I'm a name drop. We're gonna name drop a couple, people. I'm connected with the building lives through sports. I think I gave you his name with Ryan Montgomery, and his mom is the founder, Dr. Anthony. She's connected with the NFL. She started a lot of the NFL programs that's going on, and they're the ones that really gave me my platform to be able to host our first girls clinic here in Kentucky, and I am indebted to them, and so and they just came with us again with wanting to collaborate with something else and wanted to bring him in a little bit with more. I think she deleted her message because she was on, and I wanted to introduce you all, but there's a young lady that's on, and her name is Joanne Pugh, and she is the 50-yard line.
I love it.
But she comes from the health and wellness part because her son played in the NFL, but he had an injury. And so she's a proponent with Harvard, and they're doing something really big with the health and wellness. So when we do a clinic or we're able to do it, she's definitely got to be on the platform. And I was hoping that she would stay on so that I can introduce y'all, because there's somebody else that she was just on, and shout her out because she's somebody else that needs to be in connect. Because we talked about, Coach Williams and I talked about a collaboration that we need to put together as many of us that are passionate about helping these kids. So she brings the health and wellness part. When I talk about Pi brings the wealth part of it, and of course we're also always bringing in the coaching part of it, and the.
But that's what makes it very special. It's because everybody's bringing in something.
Bring something else to the table
that you don't even think about. And I truly mean this a lot in closing. Hey, what's up? What's up, niece? Goldie, how you doing? My niece had the
there she is right there. Yeah, she was still on, but again, this is Joanne Pugh, and I need everybody to know you guys I'll make sure that you guys are connected because her 50-yard line and what she is doing it feeds into everything, and another collaboration of what we're doing. So when we do our sports conference, Miss Pugh, we're going to make sure that you're on board with all of this too, because the health and wellness part of it, the concussions, all of that part of it. I've had 2 ACL surgeries.
But hold up, Coach. Huge. But Coach, hold up, and coaches, hold up 1 second, and Miss Few. What just happened in the NFL building? It was.
Oh, how about that? Yes, mental health.
The dude was mentally having his moments, and that all of that, and y'all's company needs to change your name because. Okay, I'm just telling you because y'all do a lot of stuff. Because see, my wife likes to go to eat at Sonic because Sonic sells everything, and they're good.
Right.
Milkshakes to the fries to the burgers to the cheeseburger to everything, and that's y'all's company right there. So you might have to put broad in it. We're very broad. We're very broad. I'm just throwing it out there because and I mean this, and she knows I'm not kidding. When a couple years ago, when y'all came and Terry was like, "Well, Ty got this," and I was like, oh, "Okay," and I really did. I'm not joking. Did I right?
Right.
And she goes, "I'm talking to you," and I go, "I heard you," and I basically was walking in another room. Right. And then she started explaining it, and then I talked to you, and then I said, and I got off the phone, and I was a cheerleader.
Right. No doubt, Coach.
And what y'all do, and especially like what she does, and the little stuff, and everything's connecting because we got to do this. This is amazing thing what you're doing academically, as well as sports, as well as NIL. As well as mental health, physical health. So
because I have a sports psychologist in North Carolina. I need to introduce you all to
because I just think
a sports psychologist.
Now I will be me right now, and I'll let Coach come in. Y'all won't forget us when y'all become one of them up here.
Yeah, I think Mr. Brown asked.
Y'all will still speak to me, right?
He said, "Do y'all have $1 million corporate sponsors associated with your endeavors?" Because they should.
No, we're working on that, but the answer is no, Coach. Albert Brown, no, but we received that.
Yeah, we received that. They're coming. They're coming. They're bringing the way.
I'm happy to hear that. I'm sorry.
Thank you, Albert, for speaking. I
apologize. I'm happy to hear that. Yeah. Because a lot of times when people get into stuff, they have the greatest intention, and it doesn't work out as quickly as they think, and they stop. I mean, we've been on this earth a long time, and we understand that. And please don't stop, because God will bless y'all in what you're doing, because both of y'all have a vision, and I love y'all's vision. There are different visions that get together. And that's what makes y'all what y'all have going so powerful. And I really mean that. Not having a hallmark moment, but this is a hallmark moment. I'm very proud of both of you, Coach Williams and Coach Brown. Thank y'all.
But thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so Mr. Brown said, "Who's the greatest player out of high school from Georgia?"
Gerson Hurts.
Woo.
Tate.
Man. Well, let me put it like this.
Herschel Walker.
Let me put it like this. They had the inaugural high school state of Georgia high school football Hall of Fame about 3 years ago. So they're getting ready for the third. This is the third year. They're gonna have the third class.
I'm sorry,
so
Terry Hogue.
In that first class, you had Andre Hastings, one of my best friends in life. You had Garrison Hurst was in that first class. You had Herschel Walker was there. He was in that first class. So man, when you start looking at Georgia football history, I'm talking about it's some monsters.
Takeo Spikes was
he made the second class.
Oh wow!
He's in. I think he made the second class last
year.
Yeah.
Whoa! How is Takeo? Oh, yeah. Hey, Coach Williams, I'm with you. Hold up. We need to look at the ballot.
We got some monsters, man. We got some monsters in the state of Georgia, man. Like, I mean, it goes deep, Coach. So I can't even say because I'm biased. I'm biased toward Andre because you start talking about USA Today Player of the Year, National Player of the Year. You start talking about, you start talking about a receiver that nobody saw a receiver.
But let me say this: when I was
in the
coming
state
out
of Georgia before, so
when I was coming out of high school, I was highly recruited, and Georgia gave me a wink. And I always wanted to play for them because I love the helmet. It just looks real. And then, I mean, you know, I was bitter, Coach Georgia, because they didn't really recruit me. And I was like, really? But then I'm a Georgia fan now because last year, Georgia actually came out the tie.
Wow.
You know, they did.
They tried to get him the transfer. Wow.
They tried to get him the transfer. And
I can believe it.
But
he had a good game against Georgia.
Man, after that,
let me say this.
I think I texted you during the game. I think I
sent a message. Let me say this. This is how Georgia came out there. What's that coming down the line? That mean machine in the red and black. Nothing finer in the land than the obnoxious Georgia fan. Go Dogs. Go Dogs.
Hey, Coach, don't get your Kentucky pants revoked.
I'm not. Man. I'm just saying we're in Kentucky. I love my UK, but that's what was going on, and she kept telling me to stop singing the song.
Right. And I just want them to keep letting you in the stadium, Coach. You know what I'm saying? You can't sing that song going into bluegrass. You know what I'm saying? No,
I'm not going in there to bluegrass. I just want to let you know I know the song. And I'll be mumbling when we play in Georgia this year.
You'll be mumbling it.
Okay, so please clear your schedule.
Yes.
We're gonna try to come down Friday night.
We'll come down. We're gonna come down. And we would love
to play October 4th. Kentucky is down there. We will be there.
I think they play at 12 though.
They play a 12 noon game.
I don't get the time yet.
All I know is
because normally we don't know
the term obnoxious Georgia fans. Y'all beating us by 90 and they're still cussing us out. I'm like, y'all winning by 90. Relax.
Right. Relax. Yeah, man. Hey, man. Listen. The state of Georgia is no doubt we got some great schools. Because I'm actually a Georgia Tech fan. Coach Brian, I'm actually a Georgia Tech fan. Yeah, but you know, Georgia has proven to be the big dog in the state of Georgia.
Well, the greatest thing about Georgia Tech, the greatest thing about Georgia Tech, y'all changed y'all's offense. Oh my gosh, thank goodness.
You didn't like that triple option, Coach?
Oh my gosh, what is this, the 70s?
That was Paul Johnson.
The 12 o'clock game. So let's talk. Yeah.
What'd you say, Coach Williams?
Let's talk.
So we'll be able to connect after the game.
What'd you say, Coach Williams?
I was saying that was Paul Johnson brought that out of Georgia Southern all those years back with Irk Russell. And brought that.
And I love your word, Coach Williams, all those years back. Yes. I'm glad they moved to the 2025 offense.
Yeah, we'd love for you guys to come down on that Friday if at all possible.
Yeah, we'll definitely be down on Friday because it's a 12 o'clock game. So we'll be down that Friday night. But we can it'll be, since it's an early game, let's see if we can have dinner.
Do something, because we'll stay tonight. We'll stay tonight.
Okay. And we usually stay in Atlanta, so in northern Atlanta or someplace up in there, or let us know, what's the convenient area to stay. And we'll get a hotel in that area so that make sure that we're able to have
real talk. I really would love to.
Yeah, we'll get it together. Yeah, because I was trying to get over there to the game, to the football game, and it started raining over here. I was like, man, what is going on?
It was bad. We had a rain delay. It was bad.
Right. Yeah. So I didn't make it over there, but
we played in Atlanta.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna say it was hot when we played Georgia back in the day, and y'all are obnoxious. I just want to let you know, y'all. I know you Georgia Tech, Coach Brown, but y'all Georgia overall are obnoxious.
Hey man, Georgia, I gotta give credit where credit is due. I mean, they made themselves. They took over the state 2 years ago when they won those back-to-back national championships, and I have to tip my hat to all my family members that went to Georgia and all my friends that are fans. Say I tip my hat to Georgia, but Georgia Tech is on the rise, and we're looking to sting them. We're looking to sting them this year.
No.
So,
that game, what was it, 8 overtimes last year? That was a good game.
Exactly.
No.
Yeah.
No. I agree with you because I'm gonna say this for the fourth time. You moved your offense to 2025.
Right. We got a more wide open offense now. So yes, sir.
So
I'm happy. Absolutely.
They got them. They got a high level.
Yeah.
I say this not being negative, but most great athletes ain't gonna go to that, especially receivers.
Kind of offense, right? Correct.
Yeah, I mean, and that goes back to what y'all do and what y'all teaching. It goes, in sequel, it goes back to that because young people are looking for the microwave world. That's the world that this young age lives at.
And another thing also that Georgia Tech is imitating, like Georgia, they have a very high NIL fund.
Yes.
So they're getting a lot of top level.
Well, they're getting all their money for Coach Brown. That's the problem.
Well, check this out. This is now y'all talking. Y'all really talking YES business now.
Yeah.
So watch. Check this out. When you start talking about Tech, one of the running jokes is, the Georgia Tech graduates. We had no problem with Georgia doing their thing and winning all the games and winning national championships. That's cool. We'll just hire them when they get out, right? And then, we'll just hire them. We'll just hire Georgia people to work for our companies, right? For Georgia Tech companies. But then I like what Coach Brent Key said recently. He said Georgia Tech may be one of the most unique places where you can actually come and play football and become a CEO.
Okay.
So think about that statement right there. And I don't know what the numbers are now. I need to research the new numbers, but about 5 to 10 years ago, 1 out of every 6 Georgia Tech graduate became a millionaire.
Ooh.
1 out of 6. Yes. So when you start looking at that academically and business-wise, exactly, academically and business-wise, you're talking about an institution that is producing business leaders in the engineering field, and that's what's taking those numbers to a high level. And here's a fun fact: Calvin Johnson, one of the great Hall of Fame receiver from Georgia Tech, for Detroit Lions. When he was in school, he was part of I think a 3 or 14 patent that he had while he was at Georgia Tech. So he already had like $1 million patent before he went to the NFL.
Oh, wow.
Coming from Georgia Tech. So that's the kind of
stuff Coach, about. That nobody knows him by Kevin Johnson. You got to say Megatron.
I know Megatron, true Megatron. Let me make sure I say that Megatron.
Yeah,
we went to. So we have.
Let me say this story. Okay. Her boy was assistant head coach tight end at Detroit, and Megatron, Kevin Johnson walked by me. See, and I looked at him and I went.
Big dude.
And the running back, one of the other running back, he said, "Hey, it's okay. I looked at him that way too."
Yeah, he a big dude. You talking about a 6'5", 220 receiver? Oh, yeah, man. Unbelievable.
Was like,
oh my God.
Yeah.
I looked at him and go, I can see that. Yeah. I mean, I looked at him and the other, I forget the running back's name, and he was like the third string, and he said, he walked up to me and I just went. And I'm looking at him, and I did a little LL.
Right.
And,
hey, there you go. The hip hop. Yes, sir.
And he goes, "Don't worry about it. I did the same thing when I saw him too." Because that young man was ripped. I've never seen a
Megatron
athlete ripped like that.
Yeah, very fitting name, Coach. And that go and again, I bring that story up about him only because at Youth Education and Sports, we teach and help out our young people and the parents of these young people understand we use sports as a tool. Sports is not the end all for you. You use sports as a tool to accomplish everything else you want in life. Because again, even if you are blessed to be one of the blessed ones to go pro, 9 times out of 10, your career is over in your 30s. And that's if you have a long career. You'll be in your 30s.
28, 27.
Exactly. So you might not even make it to your 30s and your career is over. So that's why it's so important to actually have a skill set, have a degree, and something that you can actually do that somebody's going to pay you over and over and over again for. And that's the whole thing with youth education and sports, that when you leave high school, when Coach was talking about your portfolio and having that all together, you will actually have a plan for your life.
Yeah.
When you leave high school, and that's our whole goal. Yes.
Listen, Coach Williams, Coach Brown, I wish I had this program when I was coming up, because again, I'm just now getting into sports, and I just wish I had some type of mentorship like this program that could have guided me, instead of me wasting 20 years, 30 years of my life in a job that was just unfulfilling, or, becomes a trap, because now, once you start putting the years in, you don't want to leave, because you don't want to lose the retirement. You don't want to start all over again.
Absolutely. I had an opportunity to leave to go into this field of pharmaceuticals, but I've already put in 20 years in the education field. Absolutely. And so I didn't leave, because I was like, oh my gosh, okay, I'm gonna make the quick money, but I'm waiting for my retirement. And let me say this, I always end, she tries to stop me, but I don't. This is Hits and Heels. This is her show. I appreciate her invite me on, and I always leave and let her end with her show, because it's disrespect, and I love my girl so much. But Coach Williams and Coach Brown, please, when we come down to Georgia and beat Georgia Bulldogs,
that's right.
Okay. I do want to hope we can get together. I really mean that.
Yeah.
And so she will end this. I'll usually walk away at the end just to let her end her show, because this is her show, and I appreciate her so much for allowing me to come on. It is very nice talking to both of you. Coach Brown, it's nice seeing you again. Coach Williams,
yes, sir, you too.
Nice finally meeting you. I only heard your name a lot, which is a great thing. Okay. And I will leave it this way. Garrison Hurts, go Niners.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, Coach.
Well, we appreciate both you guys as well. And, we appreciate the opportunity to share with you our answer for a lot of problems that's going on in the world. And it's through starting with the youth and building out our communities and giving them some hope when the time seems so hopeless. We don't have to depend on the government. We can collaborate with other community-minded sources and just continue to groom our own communities.
Yeah, I definitely. Joanne says, love the conversation. Great meeting you both virtually. Much success to your endeavors. Okay, so the last thing that I want to talk about before we go is, did we talk about y'all have a monthly Zoom? Is that something that we can discuss, or is that something we don't need to be discussing?
Absolutely.
Yes.
No, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Can we talk about that? What does that entail? How do we get involved with that? How do families can get connected to that Zoom, and what information are you all putting out on that?
So the Student Athlete Achievement Program Zoom meeting takes place on the first and last Monday of each month at 7:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And in that meeting, we cover a wide range of topics that range from the NIL to current events, goal setting. Depending on the frequency of the participants, we move along rather swiftly in those lines. The information can be found on our website, which is youtheducationandsports.org. And there's a join now link that you just go on the website and click the link, and it takes you live to the meeting.
Okay, are y'all able to Coach, do you have that link?
I'm gonna put that in the chat.
Drop it in the chat for people to be able to have that, so that they can be able to access that. Okay, you put it in the private chat.
I put it in the private chat. Let me put it in the
put it in chat. Put it in the public chat for me.
Gotcha.
You don't mind, sir? Thank you. I appreciate that.
Ma'am.
Yeah, so you guys can go ahead and access that that link and get on that Zoom the first and last Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and it's free.
Yes, we don't charge any money for our programming. The only thing that we charge for is the actual literature the curriculum that we
curriculum
follow.
From the student athlete playbook.
Yes, and they can also order that online as well.
Okay, is it on the website, or do we need to drop the Amazon link, Coach?
It's on the website as well.
It's on the website as well too. Okay, good. Okay,
but I'm gonna I'll drop the link in. I'll drop the link in there as well.
Mm-hmm. Okay, good. Now I had a copy of the playbook, and I think I let somebody borrow it because I've been looking for it, and it's not where it was supposed to be. Because normally I have, you see, I got a bookcase right here, and I got one over here too, and I was looking for it, and I couldn't. I think I let somebody borrow it. I apologize, because normally I like to show people that I support, the people that I bring on my podcast. Of course, like you see, I see Coach Holloway has come on there. Of course, again, Joanne Pugh has been on my podcast, and I've had Goose. Y'all know Goose, that played at the University of Kentucky. He's been an announcer. So I love supporting that. Let's talk about what support looks like. How do we support you? You just gave the website.
What the number?
Is that all we need to, what else? What else can we do?
Well, it has. So the number one way, and Terry, I'm having a problem getting into the chat on the public chat. So you might have to take it, copy it.
Okay. Let
me look. Come out. You might have to take it from there, our website, and put it over there for me. But the number one way you can support us is, like Coach Williams just said, you go to our website, you'll see a donate button up on the top. I think it's the right-hand corner. You just click on that, and boom, you can donate money to us directly. Of course, we have the materials, the student athlete playbook. So we have the student athlete playbook, the textbook. We have the journal that the students work out of. And then we also have the facilitators guide, where coaches and parents can do activities with the student athletes. And it's just a tremendous package that allows your student athletes to go deep. Because one thing we want our student athletes to be able to do is look in that mirror and know who they are right now. And then as they continue to work and they continue to look in that mirror, they start developing into the person that they want to be. And that's the whole key to our program. Where you are now, and when you go through our program, you look at yourself and you say, oh man, I am, or I'm becoming the person I say I want to become. And we're going to hold you accountable for that. And one of our greatest success stories, if you go to our YouTube channel, you'll see him right now, Samuel Mitchell at South Carolina State University. He was a starting free safety at South Cobb High School his junior year. And going into his senior year, he said he didn't want to play football anymore. And I'm like, yeah, exactly. That's how I was like, what? And I said, well, have you talked to your parents about this? He said, nah, coach, I want to talk with you about it first. And I said, well, man, the first thing you're going to have to do is tell your mama and daddy. That's for sure. And so we talked through that, and he went and did it. And I said, well, what are you going to do? He said, man, I want to focus on my academics, and I want to become an educator like you, coach. And I'm like, what? Because his mom is in education. Yeah. His dad is a pastor and an entrepreneur. And so I said, oh man, this is beautiful. And now this young man is going into his junior year in the Call Me Mr. education program. So he's about to be one of our next outstanding educators coming into the workforce. And I'm so excited for him, because this Call Me Mr. program has actually produced some of the best Black male educators in this country. And so we're excited to see where Samuel goes from here. So again, that's some of the things we're about with the program. Hey, sports is a tool. And once you understand that, the way you operate and you move can be amazing. And that's what Coach was saying about Flajay Johnson. You know, she's in the WNBA. She's doing outstanding. She has a rap career as well. But that young lady used her sports platform to create these other platforms that she's benefiting from as well. And so that's what we want to see our young people do.
Yeah, when she came to Kentucky, when LSU played at Kentucky last year, I got to watch her live, and I made sure I went to that game when she came here last year to play Kentucky. So Coach Brown, you acknowledge the Georgia Hall of Fame, and Coach Terry is a committee member of perhaps the only unique Hall of Fame in the country.
Absolutely, she is. She is the Hall of Fame.
No, it's not about my Hall of Fame. What we talked about is we had to. Okay, so we here in Lexington, it's not just the Kentucky Hall of Fame. It's just the city of Lexington.
Oh wow!
We created a Lexington African American Sports Hall of Fame because here in Kentucky, our African American athletes weren't getting into the Kentucky Hall of Fame.
Wow, got you. Understood.
So an example, for example, we have my husband is a baseball coach. His mentor is this gentleman named Steve Chandler. Steve Chandler was a four-sport All-American. Four-sport All-American. And he was the first African American to play baseball at Vanderbilt University. And Vanderbilt University is like an Ivy. It's like absolutely type league. It's a little bit different. It's in the SEC, but it's a little bit difficult to get into. And they got different stuff. And when we put him in our Hall of Fame, now this gentleman is getting ready to turn 70, I believe. So he was in Vanderbilt in the 70s.
Wow. Shout out to him.
Our Hall of Fame, now they finally recognize him in the Vanderbilt Hall of Fame. We had a young man that we just put in last year, and he Chris Chenault was number 3 all time in tackling at the University of Kentucky.
Right.
Why was he not already in Kentucky's Hall of Fame? But when we acknowledged him in ours, they went ahead and acknowledged him in that. So our Hall of Fame has really, set precedents and raised some eyebrows and stuff. So so in our Hall of Fame, we got Damani Dawson and Tyson Gay, names that you guys know. They're not just from Kentucky, but they're from Lexington. And so we're not from Lexington, but our Cisco and I both have been able to be on the board, and I've taken over as the fundraising chair, and I'm on a couple of the committees, and I'm all in when it comes to giving people their flowers. So we have a couple of schools here. We call it Old Douglas and Old Dunbar. They're now integrated schools, but back in the day they were not integrated, and so they had a black playoffs that was separate from the KSAA. And so we've been able to acknowledge those teams and those players and those athletes that have not been able to get acknowledged from the Kentucky Hall of Fame. Now, I don't know what y'all got down there, but that might be something that y'all might want to, that's something that we've kind of been spearheading is making sure that people get their flowers now while they're still can get them. And I want to invite y'all out to our Hall of Fame, and that's on September the 20th. And it's going to be a good. Kentucky has a bye week that week. So we got lucky this week. If you guys are available, we'd love to have y'all up and be able to, and maybe we can do something. We actually give scholarships for that, but maybe we could do something maybe that Friday night or maybe that Sunday. Maybe we could schedule our luncheon or something around about that time.
Right at time.
That might be something we can look into. And I'm just throwing it in the universe right now, and to see how that goes. Now, is there anything? Oh, one more. He says we have 2 World Series champions. John Tebow Shelby has never been acknowledged. Only by this man has 2 World Series and has not been acknowledged by the MLB or any other Hall of Fame. Only we're the only one that have acknowledged him.
Terry, let me say something to you, Coach Bryant. Kudos you and everybody that works with your Hall of Fame staff, the Lexington African American Sports Hall of Fame, because a lot of people always talk about, well, why do you have to do your own black thing? And have just explained and shown exactly why we have to recognize our own, because nobody else wants to recognize our accomplishments. And it's a pitiful, pitiful shame that it has to happen like that. But I am so proud of you all for taking and putting forth the effort, taking the time and putting forth the amazing effort to recognize all these great athletes that have come through Lexington specifically. That's a beautiful thing. That's
why I'm so thankful that they're one of our top sponsors for the show. And we're probably getting ready to have I think actually for August and September leading into the gala, I usually have just a Layshoff inductees and being able to share their stories. I mean, we've had some amazing stories from these people in the inductees that are absolutely just amazing. And I'm just so honored that we were able to be a part of that. But I hope that is something that would also kind of like how y'all's program is, and being able to spread that out. That I hope that it would also just encourage other people and inspire other people to just support our own and acknowledge our own and do something and not just talk about it. So thank you, Mr. Brown, for just bringing that up so that we can just kind of bring that. Now, is there anything that I haven't asked that I need to ask? Man, Mr. Williams, Coach Williams.
We've covered a lot. Yeah.
Did we cover everything to make sure y'all, because I want to make sure I give y'all's flowers on my show.
Well, you definitely have done a wonderful job of hosting and covering what we do and how we serve the communities. I'd love for us to have a sequel and showing how we're implementing it there in Lexington. It's not a hard lift, but I'd love to see that so that others can see how we actually implement it and break down the different components. Today has been an overview and an opportunity for us to discuss the collaboration. And in turn, I can foresee us having a conference of a sort of our partners and moving forward and helping other communities. But I'd like to say thank you again for your service and what you guys are doing, not only in Kentucky, but around the world.
No, I thank you. I'm honored that you guys agreed to come on. I'm thankful that you all reached out even for a collaboration. I'm overwhelmed with joy because there's nothing else better than for us to come together and be able to help these kids. Like, it's just about the kids. It's not even about us. It's just about helping these kids. And I think a lot of people don't share that same passion. It's all about what's in it for them. And they're not really just in it for the kids. And talking to you all and being connected to you all, I know that you all are about doing just about the kids. And we just want to help as many families as we can. And I just appreciate everything that you bring to the table. And thank you for trusting me with wanting to collaborate with me and coming on my show. And I appreciate that. Oh, and Mr. Brown says this: YouTube extremely important in these difficult times. And Mr. Brown also had mentioned too that we talk about the health and wellness and stuff. And I want to acknowledge, I was shocked about hearing about Coach Prime and his illness and how he was able to keep that under wraps and nobody let that,
let it out the bag.
Nobody leaked that sooner than what he wanted to leak that. Yeah.
Well, he's got a tight camp there. He's got a high class organization, and they don't give him the recognition or the kudos that they should give him for whatever reason that someone would not love him for what he's done for young men, not just in Colorado, but all over the place. There's a lot of cynics out there for whatever reason. We just pray for our brother man and brother men around the country that they're doing what they should be doing to lead people instead of just being a negative voice in the wilderness.
Oh, absolutely. That's good stuff.
Absolutely.
Okay, is there anything, Coach Williams, that you've ever wanted to say publicly that you've never had a platform to be able to say?
That's a good one. You know,
that is a good one for him. Yeah, he gonna let you know. No.
Yeah, and Coach Brown, if anybody knows me, Coach Brown does, and I'll talk to anybody and everybody about our heart. And our heart lies in serving kids, and to start as young as we can and to work with them as long as we can is a blessing. The video that we were afforded to witness was jaw-dropping. I couldn't even verbally say my appreciation to our young man who decided to stop playing sports and to go into teaching because of the role models that we were able to present him. But one thing I'd like to say is that there is hope and there is help during this time of supposed hopelessness and helplessness. Believe in yourself. Believe that you are made in his image and you can do anything you want to, because I am is the greatest.
That's good stuff. That's good stuff. Now, Coach Brown, you hosted an absolute phenomenal show the other day. It was man, oh my God, it was so good. You're an absolute fantastic host. So I know I haven't done you the justice that you do on your show.
Stop
But I do appreciate you being on my show. Now, is there anything that you wanted to say, and you have your own platform, that you wanted to say that you even haven't maybe said on your own platform?
Right. I'm like Coach Williams. That's a tough one. However, I'm gonna say this. First of all, thank you, Terry, Coach Bryant, because you know, I think you and your husband are outstanding, and what y'all have done with y'all children is amazing. So I want to make sure I always recognize that every time I speak to you, because meeting young men like Ty is always an honor and a pleasure. And you have to, and parents, this is very true. That's why the role of a parent is very important. The fruit never falls very far from the tree. So I learned this in education. Anytime you see a kid, a young man, a young woman acting a particular way in school, out in the community, or wherever they are in the world, good, bad, or indifferent, you don't have to look any further than when you meet their parents, you'll understand exactly why those young people are acting the way they are. Good, bad, or indifferent. That's the important role that we as parents, aunties, grandmothers, uncles, aunts, cousins, big cousins, little cousins, we all play a role, exactly, a village, and our young people are watching us. And as they're watching us smoke, drink, and do all the things that we should not be doing, they have the opportunity to pattern that. So it's in our best interest to pattern good, to show good behavior, to display excellent character as much as possible, because our children are watching and they're going to do what we do. They're not necessarily going to do what we say, but they're absolutely going to do what we do. So let's show them something outstanding to do. And I'll stop right there, Coach Terry Brown.
That's good stuff. That's the mic drop right there. Dropping the mic right there. Dropping the mic right there. Hey, Coach Williams, thank you so much. Coach Brown, thank you so much. Youth Education and Sports Incorporated, the Student Athlete Playbook. We are so indebted to both of those programs, and we're asking everyone to reach out. Again, I've dropped the link in the chat. You can go to their website. You can reach out to them. Both of them are on Facebook. Are you guys also on other social medias too? I know you're on Facebook.
Ma'am. Right? Yeah. We have Instagram. We're on Twitter, and we're on YouTube. Check out our YouTube channel. Got some outstanding videos on there. So yeah, absolutely. So we're on all the major platforms: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. Oh, and then we do have a TikTok. We do have a TikTok page as well.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I think I follow everything but the TikTok. I have to go find the TikTok. Okay. Yes, so guys, so parents, coaches, anybody that happens to, even if you catch this on a replay or you catch it 2-3 years from now, you know, it's still going to be around. It's still going to be relevant. And please reach out if you need any type of assistance with helping getting your student athlete or your student artist to the next level. And I appreciate you all being on, and I appreciate all the viewers being on. Make sure you guys catch us lace off on the 20th. Make sure you go get your tickets. Make sure y'all follow and subscribe on our YouTube channel. We appreciate you all being here. Don't y'all leave nowhere. I'm just going to end the stream.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, y'all. We'll see y'all next week.
Thank you.